I'm today very delighted to welcome our guest today, Mrs. Preeti Bhandary. She's the Director of Curriculum for Learning Edge India Private Limited, Little Elly, Elly Childcare, and Glentree Academy. Ma'am, a very hearty welcome to you to the Skoolz platform, to our Leadership Speaks series.
Thank
Welcome, ma'am.
you and namaste to all of you.
Ma'am, I'm sure our viewers and our parent community will be delighted to hear the insights from you. Little Elly, founded in 2004, 130 plus centers nationwide and abroad. A massive achievement, ma'am. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Ma'am, there has to be so many important decisions that you would have taken to take Little Elly from one center to 130 centers. So how has these decisions are made, ma'am?
Yeah. Swapna, first of all, thank you for giving such a wonderful introduction. And, life is full of decisions, starting from getting up in the morning till your bedtime, is what I completely believe in, right? And I consider taking a decision is actually freedom, which is if any person is allowed to take a decision, she or he has to celebrate her freedom to do that. Okay, so important decisions, if I say on the work front, it has mostly been on emotional grounds, which I know is not a great thing to do, but being a woman, emotions are something which is very relevant to women. And my gut instinct, my gut feeling. Okay, so my basic emotion when I talk about it, it is basically towards the work, because what happens is with Little Elly especially, there are so many children, so many families who are involved and who are dependent on us, directly or indirectly. So all the choices that have come across, or all the decisions that we have to make, has been on these grounds, even especially I will say during the COVID time. We had to take a decision. We couldn't just sit and watch for long. We were very keen, and we were very, I would say, we are very prompt in taking decisions at that time. And also what happens is, many people think that if I gain extra information, I'm going to know everything, right? But as far as I feel, especially with young parents, you should not take too much information. End of it, you're not able to take the decision. So I keep to it that less information, whatever information I have, I collect that information and go by my instinct. And all of us, most importantly, should know whom to trust and whom to delegate. That only helps in making our decisions successful, is what I firmly believe in.
So definitely the wisdom that guides us, be it emotional gut feeling, and definitely backed by some information.
Right.
Definitely, ma'am, all these decisions, especially in the leadership positions such as yours, some of them would have been very difficult to make. As you said, emotions and being responsible for many families. So, how do you make those tough choices? And has there been a difficult choice that you have made?
Um, Tough choices, or hard choices, will always have two alternatives, and we have to choose, right? So generally we want to choose the safest choice. As a human being, we'll always look for a safe comfort zone. So hard decisions, I don't see much, but yes, recent times, the hardest decision for me as a preschool educator was to interact with my children online than offline. So getting that mode, because early childhood education is all about hands-on learning, is all about TLC, which we elaborate as tender love care, which was, we couldn't do that with children online. So that, I think, to date, I would say that was my hardest decision for changing the preschool prospect, way of teaching from offline to online. That is a hard choice to make, but we didn't have any other choice, I guess.
I think rolling with the times and the situation is something we have all learned to do.
Right.
Uh, Ma'am, 130 plus centers nationwide and abroad. So what was that push or that decision that took it from one center to this?
Yeah, see, one difficult decision that I had to take was shifting from Kuwait to India. In Kuwait, I had our own preschool there, which was a registered preschool, which is a tough thing to do there. And we had quite a successful school. In fact, in a year's time, we had 150 children in the school in the small setup. So that was only going to grow well and grow better with time. But for some reason, we had to come to India. So that is the, I think, one of the decisions, my toughest decision that I look back when it comes to little Ellie. And of course, if I had not come, little Ellie wouldn't have been born, right? So yes, little Ellie was born because of this good decision of coming to India, I will say. And majorly the journey, I will say, from 1 to 130 centers has been a wonderful journey for me. In fact, sometimes when I look back, I didn't even realize that, we have touched with 130 families and of franchisees, I would say. And then from these 130 families, we have touched more than, a lakh of students and their families and so on. So directly or indirectly, it's been a wonderful journey for us. And the visionary here is my husband, Mr. Vittal Bhandary, who has, been very clear that yes, you can do it. So that's how it is all. I can only say that for growing from 1 to 130 centers.
Definitely, ma'am. The backing of our family, the support we get from our well-wishers definitely gives us that push. So,
Yeah.
and I, for one, I'm very glad that you made the choice of moving from Kuwait. So, that's definitely there. Um, ma'am, you are an industry leader by all means. So, what is your biggest achievement
Mm,
till date? I'm sure there are many to come till date.
see, achievement is for others to decide. The whole reason that you want to take my interview or you want to talk to me is itself an achievement, right? So, but I generally want to leave it up to people. What do they think about my achievement? If I have achieved something, for me, it is satisfaction, complete satisfaction from, being a kindergarten teacher and then coming into Little Ellie, having touched so many lives. And in this process, I have learned a lot of things. If you want to think about accomplishment, is all the things that I have learned from each and everyone I've met to date. So that I would consider an accomplishment. Grace of God that He's allowed me to do all this. Of course, hard work is there, but you need someone's hand over you is what I feel. Some positive energy has to be there around you. So that is what I will say is my accomplishment.
I'm very humble of you. With yeah, I do. That's your personality. That's how you come across to me and many, I'm sure. Ma'am, Little Ellie seems to be something that has come from your heart with a lot of hard work. So, how does a typical day at Little Ellie go for a child?
Yeah. When it comes to little Ellies, we generally cater to small kids. It's basically children who are 1.5-year old plus to 6-year olds, which is kindergarten. So we want the first step is happy child, and a happy child always learns. So the whole spirit for my teachers to incorporate or inculcate in children is happiness. And when a child is happy, feels safe in our premises or in our environment, learning is going to happen without any, there's no requirement of anything else. That's the first thing. The second thing is we do sensitize our teachers, on how to handle children. And for a child, every adult looks the same for him. But I know my teacher does figure out one child is different from the other. So how she has to handle, that is very important for us. So when these two things fall in place, definitely the spirit around is very positive. Everyone, if they're happy, everything will go well. So, and we also help our parents to come into that spirit. So there is always a good morning with a broad smile to every child, and a good morning to the parent also. So if a parent also is not, in his very best of mood, he will, go back smiling and basically be happy that, yes, my child is in safe hands. So that is the whole spirit that goes around in the school throughout.
So happiness is definitely ensured. That would, open the doors for a child to learn much better.
Yes.
Ma'am, with that is definitely there, but how stimulative are the classrooms and the play area for a child?
Yeah. See, with Little Ellie, we have different concept rooms. So we don't kind of have our children in one room enclosed the whole day. So every half an hour or every 40 minutes, the child just changes his rooms. So we have something called as a fine motor skills or a Montessori area where he explores with all his about all the Montessori materials. That is what we do with him. Then we have an art and craft area where the child can explore creative art. In fact, there is a separate teacher for him. She takes only two children at a time. So she will help them, do the activity and then go back to their classes. And in that time, when especially a child is coloring and he wants to say some story, we get to hear a lot of stories from kids. These past 2 years we haven't heard much stories, but still, it used to be a normal conversation between the teacher and the child could open up with anything. So that is one of the good part of Little Ellie. And we every room we have some theme based painting, so a child knows his room as soon as he enters. Yes, this is my room for the day, for the first half an hour at least, where he meets his teacher and all that. And also we our furnitures, when it comes to stimulating environment, we our furnitures are more of rubber wood based, not colorful at all, because the toys are colorful. In most of the schools sometimes what you see is colorful furniture, that actually the whole significance of the toy is lost. Because the toy is colorful, we give a very plain background so the child can concentrate on that toy and be very happy about seeing one toy, because with among all the colors he's going to be lost. So specifically we look into all the furniture, the placement. There is an stage area also where we kind of help the children to come out of their stage fright or talk confidently. And at different stages we do different things. Say for a 1.5-year-old, I can't ask the child to come and talk. So all of them will be on stage singing and dancing. But when it comes to LKG and UKG, we do prompt the children. So if one child is shy, we say 3, 4 can come on and try to speak. So slowly we have seen children who get out of their shyness and come and talk. And sometimes it is then difficult to tell them stop talking now. So the whole environment is stimulative and of course very encouraging, because our teachers have to be observers. More than teaching, we tell them observe the children and just see what best you can, prompt the child to do. So that way I can see, all our Little Ellie children are generally very confident. And I do visit few centers, and sometimes because of time schedule I'm not able to go. So my children do ask me, where were you, why you didn't come? So that actually makes me feel very good, that yes, my the Little Ellie children have the confidence to even ask me that, yes Preeti auntie, what happened, you didn't come for so many days. So this genuine interaction is something which I look forward to with all the children in the class. And
Ma'am, the way your children are waiting for you to come visit the center, that shows the connect that you have. Now,
yes,
this is not just a management position that you're sitting. The involvement, how much you put into the center in a day-to-day activity, very
yes.
heartwarming, ma'am. Like
Yeah, I miss my kids, but yes, now 2 years I haven't gone. But whenever the school was operational, I make it a point to visit the schools. So I do enter the classes. Some schools I go very regularly, so they know me. But other franchise centers, I do try to visit the classes.
I'm sure, ma'am. Ma'am, kids develop their motor skills and the speed of learning.
Yes.
Everything is, some kids develop it much faster, some kids are slower. How is this addressed in a classroom or in a group of children?
Yeah, so in a group of children, actually, when it comes to motor skills, there are two forms. Like, say, there is fine motor development and gross motor development. So, fine motor development basically concentrates on their hands, so which is required for writing skills and so on. And parents are more concerned of writing skills. So, we do have to concentrate more on the fine motor development. So, it's very easy. It is not a big rocket science. The first thing we tell is give them lot of clay, to mold, and that gives lot of finger muscle exercise, I will say. And then even cloth spin, which we used to do at home, you know clipping our clothes, wet clothes. So we give lot of clipping activities for the children. We do pouring activities. So there are n number of activities that you can do with the child. And then if the parent is really concerned, we call the parent, we kind of educate the parent also with few activities that they can do at home. So it is as simple as even sorting all their vegetables when they go vegetable shopping. That itself helps the child to pick up each vegetable, and sorting and holding the vegetable, peeling of the potato. All these things are, which is very closer to the environment. We don't want to encourage activities out of the blue. I don't want my parent to go and buy expensive materials and all, nothing. We say make chapati dough at home and give the child also to explore. So there is an age group where, especially play group from 1.5 to 2.5, where we do concentrate on development of fine motor skills. And gross motor skills, most of the children are fine, because physically, if anything is lacking, the parent is the first one to know. So even our schools are inclusive to some extent, where we can accommodate children who are not physically very strong. But yes, we do take care of the kids accordingly.
So all the methods you used are real, relatable, that a child can have it at home to support the learning.
Yes.
Wonderful to know, ma'am. There's so much going on here. So what are the major events or functions that are held at Little Elly?
Yeah, so a lot of events are there because, like I mentioned, we want to be very close to the environment that we are in. So our festivals, India has a plethora of festivals. So we try and celebrate each and every festival for every age group, and we involve the parents also for the festivals. And when it comes to activity based, we have show and tell, where children get something from home and they talk about it to their friends, and we make them sit in a circle. So they share it with their friends, and the circle comes back to them. So then they don't get scared, oh, my toy is being taken by someone. So he can actually see it being passed around and then coming it back to him. So that way, they feel good about it, about sharing is kind of taken care of. And one more very good activity that we do is dressing up as community helpers. So our children dress up as community helpers. Our teachers make specific props, say an ambulance or fire station, fire engine, and all next to them. And, we invite the parents, and the children talk about the community helpers. So, whatever few sentences they can speak, they are very happy to talk it out and, portray it. At the same time, they learn the importance of a community helper. And of course, grandparents day, because we consider grandparents as the best, more friends to the kid than the parents, because we don't want parents to become friends with the kids, but grandparents are definitely can be. So we have a specific time when we invite all the grandparents, that is before the Dasara holidays in Bangalore. So Dasara holidays is a 2 week gap. Generally, it's a break. So what we do is we tell our parents to call over their parents over, so that these grandparents can celebrate the grandparents' day in school and then spend 2 weeks with their grandchild. So Dasra time we don't encourage much of all these camps, summer camp and all kind of stuff. We want the children to spend time with their grandparents. So that is something which we do in Little Elly more, kind of, because that's a good break for the grandparents, and parents, if they are working, they have to go to work. So grandparent is there for 2 weeks. It's a good time for the child to spend with the grandparents. And of course, the regular things that happen in every school, sports day is there, and the finale is the annual day where children dance and sing on stage. And yes, that is annual day is always butterflies in the stomach for all the team members because they want every child to perform. And yes, and parents also have high expectations, but so far so good. We have been able to manage all these events well. And we had
Wonderful set and list of things happening at but the most heart touching for me was the grandparents day. How wonderful is it to have a child in a little early environment where the child is nurtured? Overall development is definitely ensured, but keeping them rooted in family. Lots of respect for that. Such a novel idea, such a refreshing thing. I hope our parent community they were watching this, take note of this. Very refreshing, very novel idea. Another thing a parent always worries about is the safety of a child.
Yes,
So
yeah, that is a number one priority for many parents. So, and it should be, is what I also agree with all the young parents. See, when it comes to safety, safety and hygiene protocols have changed now after COVID. So, when it COVID time, now the safety is having less children in the center at a time, and social distancing, that also comes under safety only now for us. So we have all these protocols in place, so there'll be distance maintained, and then there will be sanitization happening, hygiene wise also it is, all these are required. And when normal school was going on, of course we had regular ID cards, so a parent has to show the ID card and then only collect the child. Without that, we will not give the child to the parent. If there is someone else who is coming in, they have to write a letter. Parent has to inform us beforehand. So, especially while dispersal of children, safety is at the highest. And of course, transport, when if children is opting, if any child is opting for transport, we have a maid in the transport, dedicated maid from the school. She makes sure that the child is given in the right hand to the right parent at the right stop. If there is nobody to welcome the child, we bring the child back to the school, so we will not leave the child anywhere. And CCTV, which is mandatory now in all the schools setup. So CCTV recordings are available for parents. We don't do live, access for the parents, because again there is privacy issue coming there. So what we do is we keep recordings of at least 15 days to 1 month, and in case any parent wants to watch, we allow them to come and they can sit in the office and watch the CCTV recording. So this is how the students' safety protocol is maintained in every Little Elly center.
wonderful to know that children are nurtured, taken care of, and protected, ma'am. There's so much of tradition that you've held on in the curriculum. So how do you balance this tradition with Western competitiveness?
Uh, yeah, so in India, I've seen, knowingly or unknowingly, we all have an inclination more towards Western standards. Though we want to be Indian by heart, but still, Western standards is something which is very, I would say, very welcoming or for the parent, for a young parent. So I will tell you one incident where in a center, one day one parent told me that, why are you not allowing children to wear shoes, Preeti? When we were in US, the children in preschool were allowed to wear shoes. I said, see, I don't mind if a child is wearing a shoe unless and until it is clean. You check the roads in US and you check the roads here. Now you have brought your child walking down the street, right? So how much of germs will be there in that? Moreover, if children are with shoes, they may stamp on another one's hand. It's not that they're going to be sitting like us on table and chairs. So they'll be up, down. It will restrict the movement. In fact, even sitting on the floor, it is going to restrict for my child if he's wearing a shoe. So we kind of try to educate our parents that not everything that is westernized is applicable. It need not be applicable in India. And we don't force any child to get, if he has some habits which are westernized, we don't say it is wrong. But I always believe that when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So when you are in India, stick to the traditions and customs and whatever rules are there. Stick to it. Try to get accustomed to things here, rather than giving an environment which is very far away from us. So, but yes, parents, once you talk to them, you kind of make them aware of things. They are quite fine. They don't argue much. In fact, they feel, oh right, yes, this I never thought about this. So that way, yes. And we do have one culture that we all have with children is namaste. That is something which we have made sure all our children know. So it's just a start. And I trust me, grandparents are the ones who are our fans. So they really like it when the child says namaste to the grandparent or anyone coming into the school. Very happy. Happy.
Very, very heartening, no, ma'am. So much of wisdom, experience, and expertise. It's coming at me, ma'am. How did you start your journey as an educator?
Yeah, as an educator, I think when I was a student only, you know, I used to love children for some reason. I don't know. Any child can settle with me. That is something which I have always felt. And when I was in degree college, just for the sake of teaching, I used to teach two small children. They used to come home, more of tuitions, and I used to have a lot of patience to teach them. And slowly I felt that yes, I should pursue my career as a teacher with a lot of patience that I have. And I did my Montessori training in Mumbai after my graduation, and started working as a kindergarten teacher. And now 23 years down the line, I'm an edupreneur. So I also have to inspire other children, other adult. It's like more like adult children, I'll say, because for me, when I'm training them, they are also like kids for me. So that way I have tried at my level best to do as much as things as an educator, as an edupreneur. And all this is possible only because sincere commitment every day is the same. So it my I always feel that your graph should not go up and down. If it is the same, you are able to do a lot more. So from day one, the enthusiasm that I started, the sincere commitment that I've given, even to date, I've stuck to it by God's grace. So I am able to do things and I'm enjoying it.
I can see that, ma'am. It doesn't look like it's work for you. Seems like it's a passion. That's
Yes.
what you're doing. What keeps you motivated?
Everyone, you know, everyone and everything around me motivates me. So, so I feel, even I feel that the best person who can motivate you is yourself. If you can be, you don't need any external thing to motivate you, because that will be very temporary. If that thing goes off or moves on, then you're back to square one. So look at yourself to motivate. So it could be anything. It could be I want to go on a nice trip in a few days, or I just want this COVID to get over with, so I better take all the precautions, and or look forward to the school opening. So everything can motivate you. You have to make yourself you have to kind of guide yourself in such a way that you are motivated every day. So I tell my team members also, nobody is going to pat your back at times. You only pat your back and you say you are doing well. Come on, let's get dressed and go to office today. So this is how I motivate myself.
Self motivation, the best way forward, I am sure.
Yes.
Ma'am, Thank you. Very insightful, very inspiring. Your journey, you yourself as an inspiration for many. Ma'am, I would like to know your feedback on our platform Skoolz.
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw it a couple of days back. I felt that it's so easy for young parents to explore and experience the schools. The platform of schools that you're showcasing. Parent can look into it in detail from every aspect and decide on which school he wants his child to be. So that was something which I really liked about it. So every school is just a click away for a parent now, and especially in this COVID time when they are not able to scout around too much. It's not safe also. And definitely good interesting articles and blogs, not only, and across the academic education, you can say from preschool to formal schooling, you have a good set of articles and blogs. So I did read a few uh, just yesterday. I was going through it, so on all the options. So that is something which I liked about school. So thank you so much. And I think this is a good thing. You are also helping a parent, which is more, also helping the society to make a better choice, and not get, confused or waste their time, because time is precious. So I guess this is a good platform, and definitely we will want parents to go into the platform and check out for the right school.
And thank you so much for those warm words and the regard that you've shown us. Thank you so much. Looking forward to a very positive association with little Elly.
Thank
Ma'am, I wholeheartedly thank you for your time and the insight that you have shared with us. And thank you for being on the Leader Speak series. And that this is an initiative of school where the parent gets connected with the school leadership.
you. Right.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Most welcome, and it's been a pleasure to know you, Swapna, and of course, get associated with schools. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.